What's up, everybody? This week we're kicking off a brand new home remodel. All right, and we are arriving at the house where we have this remodel that we're kicking off going. As you can see, we've got the roofers going ahead and they're getting started. I'll come back to that one here in a little bit. So I have to admit, I kind of lied. We didn't just start this one off. We've been on it for the past couple of weeks, but this is the first week that we actually get to be in here ourselves doing some of the work. The customer wanted the popcorn ceiling removed off of the ceilings, and when we went and tested it, it came back positive with asbestos. So we had to get an asbestos abatement company to come through and remove it. Also, the customer wanted recessed lighting out here in this vaulted ceiling. And for our electricians to be able to do that, we had to drop the drywall. And unfortunately, when we removed the drywall, we noticed something. Up here, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of daylight coming through and there's a lot of black spots along there. This ceiling, due to improper ventilation and just a leak, was rotting away. In the interim, we're working to get the walls and ceiling prepped. So when they went through and scraped, they left a little bit of this residue, and as you can see, there's tape lines. So what we had to do is go through and prime and seal to go ahead and put on a skim coat where needed. After that, we'll be able to go through and retexture the ceiling and then prime and paint it. But that's only one small part of this whole entire project. After Thanksgiving, we're gonna go ahead and kick off this kitchen remodel as well. All right, Jacob, what do we got going on here?
They got to seal all that paint on the edges here on the walls is starting to chip out. So what we did was we scraped all the loose paint off of there, and we got this sealer. It's called the edge lock paint, and we're going to paint that. That's gonna hopefully help this from curling out and cracking again later. For now, we're just getting that applied. We're gonna let it dry and then come back and do the mud work and the texture later.
If we don't do that, as he was saying, the paint will start to curl out and it'll ruin pretty much any of the work that we do. So if we don't prepare it properly, it'll ruin all the work that we put in, and we'll have to come back and redo it again. Doing here now, Jacob?
Making a mess.
That's obvious.
So I'm priming the ceiling so that we can get a better look at the areas that need to be addressed when we do the skim coat.
Does it help with the adhesion or anything at all for the mud? Or?
There's a lot of dust and stuff from when they did the removal of the asbestos.
Yep.
And once we seal it, I think it's going to allow the material to stick a little bit better to keep from chipping out when we do our repairs.
Unfortunately, because he is painting the ceiling, I'm not going to leave the camera in here because I don't want the camera to get destroyed by his messiness.
Because I'm a sloppy dripper. Alright, so we've got all of our edges locked down. We've also primered the ceilings, kind of hardened off some of the rougher areas. We're going to take our mud knife through and kind of scrape off these areas here where stuff is hanging down a little bit further off the ceiling so that it doesn't get caught up in our mud work when we do our patches. When they do acoustic ceiling, they just do a basic tape job, and when you scrape all that off, you see a lot of the tape lines there. You can see in the corner where the mud and tape actually failed, so we're going to have to mud and tape that. Alright, so we've got everything in the bedrooms and the hallway scraped. Everything is showing itself, so we're going to mix up some hot mud and fix some of these more noticeable areas with hot mud, and then we'll move on from there.
Good morning, what is up, everybody? The roofers went ahead and got the roofing all done yesterday, which is amazing. Today, our crew is gonna go ahead and start buttoning up the ceiling right here. So we had the drywall and everything pulled down so that we can put in recessed lighting. We need to go through and start installing insulation as well as the drywall. I gotta run off to grab the supplies, so I'm gonna leave you here with Jacob, Marvin, and Caleb. They're currently working on getting the ceiling and walls prepped to go ahead and get retextured.
back. got everything sanded down. The first skim coat starts doing another skim out. This will be our final skim coat. They've already got started in here a little bit. So basically we're just taking out all the imperfections of the wall up top. And then if need be, we'll be doing a little more touch up on some small spots here. Like right here is a little dimpled in from the hole. Alright, so that's our second skim out, and we will be doing this throughout the rest of the area, the 2 bedrooms and the hallway. And then we'll be back.
Alright, I just got back from picking up the scaffolding, so we're gonna go ahead and get that downloaded from my truck and brought in here, and then we're gonna set it up so that we can go ahead and start working on doing the insulation as well as the drywall. So let's get to it. We've got the scaffolding all downloaded, so I'm gonna take off and go grab some drywall. So I'm gonna leave you here with the guys to put together the scaffolding as well as hang the insulation. Drywall all dropped off now, so I'm gonna be taking off so I can go work on estimates. We've got Marvin, Jacob, and Caleb all working on the insulation for this roof. I'm not so sure that we'll be able to get around to the drywall yet today, but at least it's here and ready so that we can kick it off first thing tomorrow morning. Yesterday, the crew went ahead and got all of the insulation put in the vaulted ceiling for both sides of it, and today they are working on doing the drywall. Caleb and Marvin have already gotten this section of the drywalling done, but we still have quite a bit left to go. So we're gonna get after it so that we can get this all buttoned up. Then we'll be able to start taping, floating, and go ahead and texture the drywall. Let's get to it. Up here for today. All that we have left to do is to go ahead and hang this one small piece of drywall as well as some small pieces along this beam. We're gonna go ahead and get that done tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Good morning and welcome back, everybody. We need to go ahead and finish hanging the drywall, then we can move on to mudding and taping and getting this thing floated so that we can go ahead and start texturing. So let's get to it.
Jacob's finishing up 90-minute on the ceiling. He's done a little more than he probably should have. Well, wherever you want to do drywall on your own or with someone else, just make sure that all your seams are nice and tight together. That way you don't have to do 90-minute. That's just the way it should go sometimes.
Well, folks, that is a wrap for this week's video. Next week, we'll be kicking off the kitchen renovation as well as the flooring for this same project. So be sure to stay tuned. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out these videos. See you on the next one.